Live from the Rivermarket in downtown Little Rock, this is Channel 7 News Live at 5.
A warning tonight from the State Health Department concerning whooping cough. Thanks for watching. I'm Beth Hunt.
And I'm Scott Inman. Health officials say there's been an increase in the number of cases in Van Buren County, and they are concerned because the illness is highly infectious and potentially deadly for its youngest victims. Roger Suzanne has what you need to know from our newsroom tonight. Roger.
Hi, Scott. Department of Health officials say this is already a serious situation, and the threat really could grow by the hour. The ADH has confirmed multiple students at Clinton Intermediate School have tested positive for whooping cough. The disease is known to be highly contagious, so experts are warning district parents to take every precaution to make sure their family stays safe. The Department of Health is asking that all students at Clinton Intermediate School get immunized for the disease, even if they've been vaccinated in the past. In fact, the ADH recommends that all family members of students get immunized as a way to prevent the spread of the disease. And they also should treat anyone who is unknowingly infected. So far, only 3 students have tested positive for whooping cough, but Gary Wheeler, the chief of infectious diseases, believes this is only the beginning of the outbreak.
Our assumption is that there's a fairly large number of people who may be in the early stages of disease and are having minimal symptoms right now.
And by the way, the ADH will host a free immunization soon at Clinton Intermediate School. We'll have those details as soon as they are available. Also, Wheeler recommends that anyone with a strong and persistent cough should see their doctor to make sure that they're not infected. Back to you, Scott.
Roger, you mentioned there in your report that even if you have already been vaccinated, you should get immunized again. Why is that? Well, Scott, Wheeler says the effects of the vaccination wear off in 4 to 5 years. So many kids need another shot. And needless to say, the large majority of adults also need to get that shot. Back to you. All right. Some good information tonight. Roger, Suzanne, and live in our newsroom. Thanks.
Your forecast first with meteorologist Barry Brandt.
Hi, everybody. Welcome down to the Rivermarket. And out on the street here, you can see the leaves have just about completely dropped from the silver maples down here. Kind of a wintry scene. It felt kind of wintry this morning with strong frost all over the state, 32 degrees or below. Let's take a look at what's happening on our Middleton Skycam right now. High-definition picture of the going home traffic. And again, it is clear outside. So that means another night where it's going to be quite chilly as we head down through the 40s and down through the 30s. Some spots will get into the 20s again. I think around 32 again in Little Rock. But right now we're at 48, down from the low 50s last hour, 48 also at Pine Bluff. Here you see the mostly clear skies. Now, North Arkansas and South Arkansas, there are some very thin clouds. Those won't do much in the way of keeping our temperatures warmer. And basically what we're looking at is that area of high pressure over the lower Great Lakes. That is still the dominant feature and a cool feature in our forecast. A frosty night again tonight. By the time you wake up in the morning, again, a 32-degree reading. And then tomorrow, up to 58. Mostly sunny skies, maybe a degree or two warmer than today, but not a whole lot different. And it'll take a while before we get to warmer air. But it will happen. And we'll have details on that and the weekend and our next rain chance in a few minutes. Scott and Beth.
Okay, we'll see you in a few minutes, Barry. Thanks. Well, a building that takes up a block in downtown Conway was demolished this morning. For years, the blue building was home to Earl Rogers Company Enterprises and most recently Rogers Auto Parts. The family sold the building to the city earlier this year. The Conway Chamber of Commerce and the city are working to make the now vacant area a priority to develop for its 2025 vision.
Oh, you may remember this report that we brought you. 60-year-old Larry Billings of Faulkner County shot and killed in his home back on October 29th, and no arrest has been made. His family is now offering a reward for information that does lead to an arrest and a conviction. Channel 7's Catherine Yancey has more tonight. Kat.
Scott, this is the first time the family has spoken publicly. Today they announced they have raised $15,000 in reward money.
Anything, you know, I mean, right now we don't have anything to go on and we're just kind of lost. And we just don't want it forgotten about.
Alicia Page is Larry Billings' oldest daughter of 6 children. She says he was a teacher and owned the Conway roller rink for decades, and he was a father figure in the community. Alicia says right now the family is dealing with anger and cannot grieve or they're trying to find closure, and they want to know who killed him and they want justice. What makes it more difficult is Billings was finally able to retire after working 2 and 3 jobs because he wanted to devote his time to his kids. Now they feel cheated.
We just wanted to ask that everybody, you know, with Twitter and Facebook and all the, you know, avenues available to reach as many people as possible throughout the state even.
Alicia says they may never get answers as to why someone killed Larry Billings, but they do want the person responsible behind bars. Scott?
Well, Kat, we know from our reporting a couple of weeks ago that Billings' pickup was missing. Is it still missing?
Yes, it's a blue 2007 Titan. It's still missing. The details are in my web story at KATV.com. And the gun used in the murder has not been recovered. Deputies continue to interview persons of interest, but no arrests have been made.
Catherine Yancey live in our newsroom tonight. Thanks very much. Engine trouble forcing a pilot in Arkansas to make an emergency landing on a highway. That plane had just taken off from an airport in Fort Smith yesterday morning when something went wrong with the engine. The pilot was able to land safely on a 2-lane highway in Barling. That's just outside of Fort Smith.
Workers for Entergy Arkansas will be back on the East Coast to help restore power following Superstorm Sandy. 6 crew members are scheduled to return later this week to help get 9.6 million customers back on the grid.
It is time to shop for the best Medicare deal, but it's not as clear-cut or easy as shopping for the best deal on a flat-screen TV. Different ailments and different coverage plans complicate things, but we want to help. Jason Peterson helping tonight by standing by in our 7 on Your Side office to tell you about our Medicare enrollment call-in. Jason.
Hey, Scott, that's right. The Medicare open enrollment period is going on right now. It lasts until December 7th. This is the one chance that Arkansas Medicare recipients and others have to reevaluate what kind of medication they need. Maybe that's changed over the past year, and if necessary, switch to a plan that best addresses those needs. As you can see, I'm joined by a team of Medicare benefits experts ready to take your calls and answer your questions. The number is 324-HELP or 324-4357. It'll be open until 7 o'clock tonight. Premiums are only part of the equation for you to consider. You also need to carefully consider deductibles, co-payments, and co-insurance. Arkansas residents in Medicare's original fee-for-service program have 30 drug plans to choose from, with premiums ranging from $15 a month to nearly $115 a month. Enrollment in the private Medicare Advantage plans is growing and is expected to make up about 30% of all Medicare beneficiaries this year. But what is right for you? This team of experts is ready to help you figure that out. Again, the number to call is 324-HELP or 324-4357. Phone lines will be open until 7 o'clock tonight, so if you don't get through right away, please keep trying. Beth.
Absolutely.
Okay, Jason, thanks a lot. Well, Goodwill is providing business attire for women seeking employment. Partnering with Women in Networking, or WIN, the Career Closet helps women move forward in their careers. WIN meets monthly, inviting women to overcome obstacles and meet their professional goals. Others donate new or gently used stylish and professional attire.
Once they complete that class, then they receive a certificate to come in and pick an outfit for their job interview.
And last year, Goodwill assisted 6,500 Arkansans and placed more than 1,100 people into community jobs.
Still to come tonight on Live at 5, how smartphone technology is changing the childbirth process. At 5:17, a special app that doctors are using at one Arkansas hospital to better treat their patients.
But first, if you're a fan of today's weather, then you'll like the forecast all the way into the weekend. Barry joins us with details coming up after the break. Stay with us. You're watching Channel 7 News Live at 5 from the Rivermarket.
Channel 7 News Live at 5, brought to you by Baker Eye Institute. Skycams, sponsored by Middleton Heat and Air. From the weather team with the most experience, this is Channel 7 meteorologist Barry Brandt.
Well, signs that we're heading toward the holidays. The street lights down here in the Rivermarket wrapped with some garland for the holidays coming up. Some of our neighbors getting ready too, and also the ice rink is going in and they're spraying water out on it. So it's not going to be long until it will be up and running down here in the Rivermarket. Let's take a look at your evening forecast. It'll be a chilly one, but a beautiful one tonight. As the sun goes down, temperatures moving on down through the 40s. And it'll eventually go down into the 30s. In fact, this morning, look at that, 20s in a number of spots like Russellville at 27, 32 at Little Rock, and 31 at Pine Bluff. Hey, we're getting some great photos in. Myra Keys sent this one to us of West Mountain, looking down off West Mountain down into Hot Springs. And also, look at this one. What a great shot. Well, this is one of our frequent contributors, and it's Mark Corder, and he took this up near Ponca in the Boxley Valley, the elk population up there, but he caught these two elk on a frosty morning fighting. But they didn't fight for very long, he said. They were back playing and just grazing right after that. Photo at KATV.com is the address. For tonight, clouds and radar. Well, there's no radar returns. A few very thin clouds across southern Arkansas. I'll call it mostly clear there, though, because they're so thin, and it really isn't going to do much to keep the temperatures up. Cloud cover at night will keep those temperatures up, but high pressure means another frosty morning in the morning, and then 2 more days of highs in the 50s, which is below average, but back to average or maybe a little bit above as we head toward the end of the week. And if you're headed to Mississippi State, to Starkville for the Hog game, an early start again, late morning start, about 54 degrees. Now, there'll be some cloud cover there, but it doesn't look like any precipitation. 55, our high today in Little Rock, 54 at North Little Rock. Our lows last night, 32 and 30, nowhere near the record lows, which are way down into the 20s and even to the teens, but it was plenty cold and plenty below normal. Middleton Skycam showing the last few minutes of daylight here today. 48 degrees. The air is super dry, and we have a light easterly wind, and dry air and a calm wind really allows those temperatures to fall quickly. Upper 40s for Searcy, for Pine Bluff, for Little Rock. Folks in Hot Springs are at 52 degrees. A beautiful night there. In Russellville at 50. And there's the high pressure that is sprawling and taking in most of the eastern two-thirds of the country. And really over the next few days, nothing much happening. It'll be mostly sunny. Maybe, again, by the end of the week, a little bit of a warm-up back into the 60s, and it'll be the weekend before we see any even moisture coming back in, and beyond that before we see rainfall. Clear and cold tonight, a frosty morning in the morning at 32. No freeze warning in effect because most everybody's had a freeze by now as of last night. And then tomorrow, look for a high up to 58 degrees, another cool day, but maybe a degree or two warmer than today. And the week ahead, well, it's warmer by the end of the week. Low 60s by early next week, and there you can see Monday and Tuesday a rain chance. It looks like a system that, well, we'll have some moisture late Monday into early Tuesday, and if that goes on through, the early look at Thanksgiving would be not bad at all, Wednesday and Thursday of next week. But what a great fall it's been, and what great pictures we're getting in here at photo at KATV.com. Scott and Beth.
Yeah, that one you showed tonight was certainly incredible. And not bad weather for mid-November.
Not at all.
Yeah, all right.
No.
Thank you, Barry.
No.
Well, preterm pregnancy births dropped for the 5th consecutive year. The full story when we come back.
And later, more Americans expected to hit the road this Thanksgiving. We'll tell you just how many the AAA is predicting coming up.
You're watching Channel 7 News live at 5 with Scott Inman, Beth Hunt, and meteorologist Barry Brandt.
39,000 rocking chairs bought primarily for nurseries are being recalled. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the base on these Graco chairs can crack or break, posing a fall hazard. The glider rockers affected are the Avalon and the Caitlin. The company Lajobi has received 28 reports of rockers breaking, including one fall. The chairs were sold between December 2009 through October of 2012 at Burlington Coat Factory and also other retailers, including Target and Walmart online sites. Well, Arkansas gets a D on its premature birth report card. Though that's a low score, the rate for premature births has improved in the state. The March of Dimes has teamed up with the state health department to ensure more babies are born healthy. The rate of preterm births is 13.2% here in Arkansas. Nationally, it's 12.8%. Preterm is anything before 37 weeks of pregnancy, and according to the Institute of Medicine, it's a health problem that costs the nation $26 billion a year. Well, you've all heard the phrase, there's an app for that. Well, it really does seem to be true for just about everything, including giving birth. Christina Munoz joins us now with more.
Yes, and we've heard of moms in labor using apps for keeping track of contractions or maybe feedings, but this is a little different. This is the actual hospital using the app, and we went to the only hospital in the state that is using this technology. And it may sound crazy, but yes, here's a question for pregnant moms out there. Are you going into labor? There's an app for that.
His name is Christian Thatcher Alimano Harris.
At 6 pounds, 2 ounces, baby Christian had a successful entrance into this world on November 1st, thanks mostly to a team of doctors and nurses at National Park Medical Center in Hot Springs, but also with the help of this smartphone application or app.
It made me feel a lot more comfortable that if something was going on or she could see what was going on, that way if all of a sudden I went into full labor, she would be right there.
It's called Airstrip OB, and it allows obstetricians to check the progress of their patients anytime from anywhere.
We feel like we can be in contact with our nurses and our labor and delivery pretty much 24/7, any minute of the day.
Dr. Renee McGraw says she can monitor the baby's and mother's vital signs as well as the mom's uterine activity through the secure app. Information that was once only at the hospital or had to be faxed to her by the nurses, or more recently could be accessed by any computer. But when it's literally at the touch of a button on your phone, convenience is taken to another level.
It's funny. It's because it's almost like Facebook for me. It's like I click on it all the time, and I think we drive our nurses crazy because we're constantly getting on and looking to see who's on labor and delivery, see what's going on, and so I think we probably make more phone calls to the nurses station than they make to us these days because we're always calling to check on our patients.
Which also takes the comfort level for expectant mothers to a whole other level as well.
She knew what was going on, and it really made us feel better because we knew that they'd already talked to her even though we couldn't see her. So the fact that she'd seen what was going on and talked to the doctor even though she wasn't in the room with us, it made us feel a lot better about it.
Pretty cool. And National Park Medical Center is the only hospital in the state using this app, as we said, and they've had it for about 3 months.
Wow, it sounds like a great resource for the doctors. You mentioned this is the first hospital. Any idea if maybe more are going to come on board?
We haven't heard. We've heard nationwide there are a lot more hospitals using this, and really the doctor said they were just looking for an easier way to access what they already had, and the hospital took it a step further and said, how about this app? They said, great, we'd love to have it.
Okay, we hopefully more will come on board.
I hope so. It seems like it's useful.
Thanks, Christina.
Thanks.
Well, we're talking to the men next, or Scott is, after the break. Find out what common signs of aging may also be a sign you'll have heart disease. We'll be right back.
In tonight's Manly Minute, they are common signs of aging for all of us. But could they be an indicator of far more serious health problems? Danish researchers have found in a new study that people who showed 4 particular signs of aging were 57% more likely to have a heart attack and 39% more likely to develop heart disease over a 35-year period. Those signs of aging were a receding hairline at the temples, baldness at the head's crown, earlobe crease, and yellow fatty deposits around the eyelid. The study does not prove that aging signs cause heart disease or vice versa, but experts say looking old for your age is a marker of poor health. Now, the researchers also followed people with 2 other signs of aging, graying of the hair and wrinkles, but those signs, fortunate for me, were not linked to increased heart risk. The findings were presented at the American Heart Association's Scientific Sessions 2012.
Well, more Americans will hit the road this Thanksgiving, but they will spend a little less. That's according to the AAA, which forecasts 43.6 million travelers for the holiday, an uptick of less than 1% over last year. The vast majority of travelers will go by car, more than 39 million, with gas prices expected on par with last year's national averages. The number of air passengers slightly down to just over 3.1 million, despite a few less travelers in the skies. Fare watchers say don't expect any last-minute deals.
If you haven't yet booked your holiday travel and you're looking to find that great airfare deal, for Thanksgiving weekend you may be out of luck. With just a week until the holidays, those few seats that are left on the planes are certainly going to be at a premium.
And a reminder, peak travel days are the Wednesday before Thanksgiving and the Sunday and Monday after.
According to one telecommunications analyst, text messaging is on the decline for the first time in U.S. history. The number of monthly texts actually falling. That's not saying much, though, considering the average cell phone customer now sends 675 texts a month. That's down, though, from the 700 they were sending earlier in the year. Who are these people? But apparently we're not communicating less, just finding cheaper ways to do it, according to analyst Chetan Sharma. He says more than half of the cell phones in the U.S. are smartphones, so rather than texting, more of us are using apps like Skype, Google Voice, and Facebook Messenger.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say your average is maybe 2 to 5.
I'm a little higher than that. But I'm way under the average. Okay. Maybe 10% of that? Maybe. How about you?
I'm probably the average.
Are you really?
Yeah, probably.
You don't ever text me. The price of crude oil down, oh, you were going to answer that. Down 19 cents a barrel today at 85.38.
Takes you too long to respond. The stock market was down today. The Dow lost almost 59 points to end the day at 12,756. The NASDAQ off 20. We'll be right back.
Tonight on Channel 7 News at 6, the push to get surveillance cameras in convenience stores in Pine Bluff continues today, and a public information session happening in Jacksonville tonight. Residents will voice their opinions of whether Jacksonville should remain in the Pulaski County Special School District or not. A live report in 30 minutes. And
coming up at 6 o'clock in sports, Razorback kicker Zach Hawker already has plans for next season, and they are big plans. At Harding University, how about the Bison? They are making program history. You'll hear from the head coach, Ronnie Huckabee, coming up at 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Sully. And what better topic to discuss on a cool November night than pumpkin pie? A little fun on the Arkansas Power and Mom's website today. Check it out at KATV.com. Beth and Scott.
Thank you, Christina. That's it for us today on Live at 5 from the Rivermarket. Thanks for watching.
We'll, of course, have more Arkansas news in 30 minutes following World News with Diane Sawyer.